Hi, good morning, rompereglas. Welcome to day 5 of Revolutionary Relationships, Practice, Process, and Integrity. So what I want to share with you today is, well, let me just review first. Day 1, we talked about the energetics of intimacy and your relationship with fear as being vital to creating more depth. Day 2, we went over the 5 energetic relational strategies and how tracking them support you in attuning to the fears, needs, and desires that are underneath, and also helping deepen your capacity for intimacy and connection by bringing them into your relationships in the present moment. Day 3, we talked about becoming a nervous system ninja, and really the nervous system work is infused throughout the 5 days, because that is at the root of it all, right? We talked about uncolonizing mind, body, spirit, mind mastery, embodied relational presencing, all that kind of stuff. Yesterday, we talked about shadow work, specifically how integrating your shadow can open you to profound levels of intimacy, creativity, play, sexual power. And we talked about the shadow work within those 5 relational strategies and how to bring it into your partnerships in a way that feels really, really yummy. So today I'm going to share the practices and processes that are part of my mastermind that starts in April. It's called the Sovereign Metabody Intimacy and Integrity Accelerator. And it's a hybrid group and one-on-one experience designed to expand your nervous system capacity, which is what it's all about anyway, as I hope you realize over the course of this week. Specifically through healing the tender places in your psyche and your soma that get activated and sometimes muddle the energetics in your relationships. And I mean the energetics in your relationships with your children, partners, work relationships, right? Because it's like we carry these with us and they come out in any interaction that we have, in any relationship that we have. So there's so much you are going to get from this experience. So I really want to spill the tea. So I want to say something first about integrity. Integrity isn't about a belief system. It is about the embodiment of a belief system, because I know that so many of you, and I was in this position as well several years ago, maybe 10 years ago, where I had all the good advice to give, but I wasn't living it. I knew all the right things to do in a relationship, all the right things, right? Like I knew about compassion and I knew about, vulnerability and all of those things, but I couldn't live them because my body wouldn't hold them. My body wasn't capable, my nervous system essentially wasn't capable of holding the vulnerability. And so this accelerator emphasize experiential and embodied transformation while also providing valuable concepts and practical frameworks within which to anchor your experiences. So it's designed to bring whatever is up here, whatever you already know, it's designed to bring it in through the body, through the embodied processes and the experiential work, which is, I'm going to share a little bit more about those. So I want to share the special offer that I have going on from today through Sunday, and it's that I am offering a $400 discount starting today through Sunday the 20th. It's a $400 discount. It's almost 1 month free off the yearly payment plan. So you can, whether you pay in full, whether you pay on a 9-month payment plan or on a 12-month payment plan, which I'll talk about later, you get $400 off, which is almost a month free. So I'm really excited about that. I'll share a little bit more details about that, but I want to get into the work. So if you're interested, DM me for details. If you're on my email list, you're going to get the link. I'll talk specifics about the investment options towards the end. So I'm so excited about this online experience, which is designed to support people, again, in expanding nervous systems through shadow work and intimacy healing so that you can transform the unconscious intentions that create barrier to intimacy and connection in your partnerships, right? So you're really opening for more. You can solidify and seal stray boundary leakages. Because when we talk about energetics, again, this is something that I haven't shared, but like people have energy leaks in their body. People have energy leaks in their body, and I can sort of see it. And you can actually feel it yourself when you get really in tune with your body, which is part of what you're going to be doing in this container. You're going to start to detect where there are energy leaks. For example, I used to have an energy leak out of my sacrum. There was an energy leak in my sacrum, and it was related to like the place where I wouldn't show my vulnerability. And it was coming sort of out the back. Instead of bringing it forward through the front, through my lower belly, it would kind of leak out the back and hide. So these are the kinds of things that we're going to be getting into. So it really is kind of a witchy and magical container. So the Metabody is also designed to increase your energetic holding capacity for relationship activations and repair. And for those of you who are polyamorous, you know, right, like how much your nervous system, the complexity it needs to hold to be able to manage multiple, and even if you're not polyamorous, right, you still have multiple relationships. You have a relationship with the kids, co-workers, right? And there's complexity in all of those relationships. So it also helps to resolve patterns of self-betrayal, fawn responding, and energetic collapse. When I say energetic collapse, like sometimes we get into relationships and, I know that we talk a lot about surrendering to love. And sometimes we think we're surrendering, but what we're doing is collapsing. Like there's like a damsel like collapse, like the desire to be rescued or the desire to be saved. And I say that without judgment because I've had that place too, and it still sort of sometimes comes up, but we have to be aware of it. And it doesn't have the same charge it used to because I've done a certain amount of work, but it's something that we keep an eye on, to make sure that you're not collapsing into something, but that you rather like have that sovereign energy, that recognition that you own your energy and that you are holding yourself in it, and that you're coming into relationships as a whole human being, and that you're responsible for your shit. So the container also helps deepen safety and self-trust, and this is the most important part, through emotional attunement to your inner experiences. So you're going to be so fucking clear about what is going on internally for you. You're going to become so incredibly attuned. So there's like a real significant increase you're going to experience of your intuition. You're going to deepen your intuition through this whole process, because intuition is accessed through the body. So you're also going to align your spiritual values and relationship knowledge with your relationship behaviors. And that's what I was talking about integrity earlier, is like, yeah, we have knowledge, we've read all the books about relationships, but oftentimes they don't align with our behaviors because our nervous systems are doing something else. They have other agendas. And you also can fire up your sex life through this work, because we're opening up erotic life force energy through the shadow work, right? Where yesterday I talked about shadow work is kind of like this, it's like this beach ball you're holding underwater. And if you let it, when you release it, when you let it into the light, you can use that sexual power. You can direct it wherever you want. You can direct that sexual power into your work. You can direct that sexual power in your sex life. So you can direct it however you want. That is energetic authority. So you can do with it whatever you want. You can have fun with it. You can kink up with it, whatever you want. So why this is important, why this work is important? It's because it's the deep transformational work. Like, I'm going to be an ass when I say this, but like, is there any other work? Is there any other work but healing our intimacy wounds? Because really, that is what ultimately gets in the way. Even if you're launching your business, if you're starting a business, it is all of those internal fears that get in the way, all of the stories, all of the rejection stories, the fear of abandonment, the fear of annihilation, all of those things actually get in the way of you really sharing your message and your vision with the world. So it is the deep transformational work. And I had an astrologer tell me, I don't know if you listened, she shared this on the podcast where I interviewed her, I think it was in December of last year. She talked about, shit ain't flying in 2023. Like in 2023, we can't be doing the same immature shit we're doing now. We're really going to have to get clear about our energy and to really come into just this place of we're no longer talking about our past hurts. We need to have integrated our hurts in ways that we can transform them into our gifts, because that's also the piece here that I want you to know is that I talk about the wound, and maybe I don't say it often enough, but I really hold space. When I'm with people, I hold space for how that wound can be opened, right? Like a package, it can be opened into your greatest gift. And these are the gifts that we end up, our relationship superpowers, right? Or our leadership superpowers, we end up bringing those into our relationships, into our work. So it really is about okay, so let's bring the gifts. Let's open up the presents. And it's where the inner evolution meets the collective transformation. This is important because as within, so without, right? Everything that we create comes from within us, is matches the internal energy. So if your internal energy is constricted, muddled, sullied in some way, it's going to be reflected in everything that you create. So we're really really cleaning up the internal space so that whatever you design, create, whether it's relational, whether it's work related, although the focus of this is really relational because we are in relationship with everything, it's just going to clean it up. Okay. So the work is also important because you get to meet yourself with devotion in the ruptures and challenges of life and love and business, frankly. Meeting yourself with devotion is really knowing how to take care of yourself with a deep reverence, knowing how to meet your needs, knowing how to love yourself, really it's self-love ultimately, and loving the parts of yourself that are more challenging to be with. And there are going to be life challenges that bring you to your knees, right? That are really, really hard, that you wouldn't want to wish on anyone, or it can be a breakup. And you want to be able to meet yourself on the kitchen floor if that's where you are, So it's really about moving through all sorts of shakeups and challenges, because really that's where a lot of us are, and just even in the past 3 weeks, I have been in really, really deep fear places, and I've had to take really, really good care of myself. And sometimes that self-care was really basic. It was just eat the right food, move your body, call a friend. It wasn't even that fancy, get a massage type of thing. So also, and this is important, right? A lot of people are in therapy. That's fantastic. I don't want to poo-poo that at all. And this is an intimacy and integrity accelerator. You're going to do in 9 months what it would take you 2 or 3 years to do. And I'm not joking, because this goes deep into the roots. It goes deep into the roots of the energetic body, the physical body. When we're talking about the nervous system, it expands it in a short period of time. We build in all sorts of pleasure practices to soothe the nervous system as well, and to make that integration as gentle as possible. And I think the most amazing part about this, like why this is important, because we need community support. A lot of us are doing our internal work. We're doing it alone, or we're doing it with one other person, with a therapist, for example. But this is like, wow, you get to have community support. You get to have deep, deep connection and bonds within this process. And like, I can't tell you like how valuable that was in my program to be with people, to be witnessed by people who I would have never met under other circumstances, who I didn't even know. Like, I didn't know if they had a brother or a sister. I didn't know any details about their family, but they had seen me in some of my deepest processes. And so that was an incredible experience for me. And that's what I want to, offer you a part of. So the hybrid group one-on-one experience is going to include bi-weekly video modules and journal prompts on attachment, on nervous system regulation, on boundaries. And I'm talking like energetic boundaries, relational strategies, and we're going to go through each one in detail, delivered to your inbox through email. There's going to be 9-month group process. I had previously thought it was going to be 6 months group process and then 3 months of one-on-one integration. But what I'm going to do is 9 months of group process, begin more intensely and begin to taper down. So it's going to be at the beginning, maybe like 2 to 3 Zoom calls a month. And towards the end, it'll be 1 Zoom call a month, and replays are going to be available. Each person is going to get 3-minute one-on-one intensives for integration work. And that's going to be at the end of the 9 months. And then there's going to be 9 months in between support over a private Facebook group. So that's going to be your place to ask questions. I'm going to be going live in there too. So there's going to be, even in addition to the video modules, there's going to be like, I'll come on and answer a question, for example. So there's ways that there's integration between the sessions as well. So this experience is for magical people. And when I say magical people, I mean like people who are already like energy aware and want to deepen the work. People who have experience with somatics, who have done mindset work, who have done the talk therapy, who are so ready to drop into the deeper quantum and intuitive layers of healing. And I say people, I mean all people. I'm opening up this space to men, to women, non-binary folks. Really, I want to have the container be as inclusive as possible. And I feel capable of holding that. So it's for people who also want to consistently experience the flow of love, of divine love within themselves, like connect to source within your own body and relate to others from a spiritual integrity. It is for people who are so ready to come into right relationship with the parts of themselves that kind of like maybe act out in relationships, or parts that are merging or graspy, or the uncomfortable pieces. And this is really to transform and transmute those energies into something that is a superpower in your relationship. And this is for people who understand that healing is best alchemized in spaces where we can rely on each other as mirrors. I know a lot of people shy away from group work, but let me tell you, like, you could come to all of the group sessions and not say or do a damn thing except witness, and your body would be transformed. Because the process other people do, you're going to feel it in your system, and it's going to shift something in your system energetically. Because, like, again, talking about energy bodies, energy matrices interacting with one another, this is constantly happening, and we are influenced by one another, right? We are affected by one another. So just witnessing is going to shift something internally for you. And we act as mirrors, right? In your relationship, or in your relationships, the things that are activated in you are parts of you that are like, I don't really want to look at that. I don't want to see that. Thank you, Melody. So yeah, and since it's especially for folks who are on a mission to create spiritual partnerships in their life, in their love, in their business, in a way that honors your and the other person's fullest self-expression, their sovereignty, and their energetic self-ownership. So, and I hold the space as a non-binary, queer, polyamorous relationship anarchist, supporting the unleashing of love into an expanded collective vision. So that's sort of how I come into it. That's my philosophy going in. And I have 15 spots open for this experience beginning in April. And I want to share a little bit about the structured practices that you're going to be learning, because I really like, I've accumulated so much knowledge and had so much training that I really want to get specific about it, because I don't talk about this stuff enough. Like, you're going to learn emotional release process. You're going to learn trauma release work. You're going to learn embodied relational presencing. You're going to learn the 4 pillars of open and intimate communication using body wisdom. You're going to learn how to repair your relationships using sort of a 4-step ritual. So those are the structured practices that are integrated over and over again, or practiced in concrete ways in the containers. And then the processes will be that you'll be integrating tantric breath work. You'll be using nonviolent communication. You'll be using focusing practices, which is really about internal attunement. I trained in core energetics. I also trained in radical aliveness. Those are both somatic expressive modalities. You'll be learning about attachment theory and polysecurity. You'll be practicing authentic relating. There's circling, which is about like naming what's arising in the moment. And there's also light work. I was trained in a form of energy healing. And I don't tend to use that a lot, but I'm definitely going to use it for this container. And it's really in the space that I hold. So that's all of what's like, the container is going to be infused with all of that. Plus, it's also going to be infused with my own personal experiences in my relationships, my lived experience. So the pain that I've turned into knowledge, right? Pain into power. So, and I want to share with you what you're going to feel at the end of the experience, because this is important to name, because people want to feel differently from what they feel now. You're going to feel an experience of safety and groundedness within your own body. You're going to feel an appreciation of your body as a vessel for the divine and a vessel for ancestral wisdom and resilience. You're going to have a deeper trust of your inner experiences. So you're not going to be like gaslighting yourself anymore, like doubting, like, oh, is this really true? Or can I feel this? Can I have this need? No, you're going to be clear as fuck about, yes, this is okay. And I'm bringing this in. You're going to have a sense of trust. You can meet your needs and you don't have to scramble for them. You don't have to scrounge or scrape for them. You're going to just be like, yeah, I can meet my needs. This is okay. You're going to be more attuned to subtle energy, right? You're going to be like an energy ninja. You're going to be less activated when other people act out their shit. This is such a gift. And I'm going to write a whole email about it, because this is important, because I used to get so activated by people. I used to take it so personally when other people were acting out. And now I'm just kind of, when other people act out, I'm just kind of, yeah, I see exactly where you are and all of that. And I'm not taking that on, right? And so that keeps the energetic boundaries clear between you and other people. And you don't take that on. You don't feel bad about yourself. You're not like, what did I do? Like wasted time. Yes, clear as fuck. So yeah, and let me spell it out for you. Like, having been an interpersonally anxious person, like, you're going to feel less anxiety. And you're going to feel less depressed, because you're going to have opened up space in your body. There's going to be more playfulness, the space for playfulness, joy, and creative exploration. So, you take a drink. That felt really juicy to share, let me tell you. Okay. So let me tell you about the investment options. So the pay in full price is just under $6,000. It's $5,994 pay in full. It's also 9 payments of $666, or you can have a yearly payment plan of $500 a month, which is incredibly inexpensive compared to other masterminds out there. So this is my introductory pricing. It's kind of a no-brainer for the value and the experience that you get. And like I said earlier, for this weekend only, I'm offering a member discount of $400 when you enroll through Sunday the 20th. And this is the extra juicy part. You also get an additional $400 if you refer someone. Okay, so crazy, crazy. If they join during this weekend, if the person you refer joins over this weekend, they'll also get a $400 discount. Okay, like, do you need to know more? Is this like not the most juicy invitation? Okay, so I'll leave it here. Thank you for all the beautiful hearts. That's so cute. It really encourages me. I love when people actually show up live. It's really good. So slide it to my DMs. I'll be sending out, like I said, if you're on my email list, you're going to get this in an email. And just ask questions, get on a call with me. I'm always happy to talk to people and really explore, like, is this an aligned option for you? And because like I operate in integrity, I'm not going to tell you it's good for you if it's not. So let me know what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Wepa, yes, wepa. And we'll be in connection. We'll be talking this shit through and exploring if this is a good match for you. All right. Thank you so much for watching.